Hello, everyone. We are in Tomkinsville, Kentucky this week with our friends at Stevens Manufacturing. I first became aware of Stevens concrete plants in my early days at Fulton Concrete. The best I recall, I believe it was Robert Eister, who called on me to introduce me to Stevens plants and equipment. But it wasn't until I became involved in the GRMCA after joining Vulcan that I first got to meet Max Stevens. That first meeting was at a banquet night at Ponte Vedra, and I distinctly recall seeing the Stevens clan taking up at least one, maybe two large tables. I remember very clearly being struck by how happy and joyful they were. The Stevens family are regular attenders at Ponte Vedra, and they continue to bring with them a joyful spirit that radiates our gatherings. This morning, we have the pleasure of visiting with Max Stevens. Max, it's great to be here at your headquarters today. I really enjoyed the tour. Elena and Leah gave me a wonderful tour of the facility. It's so impressive. I'm so excited to see all of the work in process and all of the finished plant components out on the yard here. Very impressive. But I'm eager to hear your story and the story of your family business. But before we dive into a lot of the history and everything of the business, I'd love to hear about you personally. So just tell us where you grew up, what you did when you were a boy, and just tell us about yourself.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Max Stevens. I've been here all my life, and my dad started the business in 57. I was born in 59, and I lived just right up the road. And I can remember my early days when I could ride my bicycle down here. And Daddy was in the ready-mix business, and I play in the sand piles and do all that stuff. And sometimes I got a little trouble down here, and Daddy kept my butt to go home. So I just lived right up the road here, and so that was my early life when I grew up. Because I've been here all my life, I've seen the major changes around here. So it's been amazing.
So, and this is hilly country, y'all. This is some hilly country around here. I'm trying to picture you riding your bike up and down hill. How far did you come?
I'm just 1,000 feet from here.
Oh, okay.
My house is 1,000 feet. That's where I was born and raised. Me and my brother was born and raised up there.
Well, let me ask you this. What did you do if you weren't here hanging out and playing in the sand or whatever? Was there anything else you liked to do when you were a boy that was fun?
Yeah, I done a lot of stuff here. Daddy put me in the dump truck, and I drive the dump truck. And then he'd build a tire load, and he said, "Here's a paintbrush, let's paint it."
No kidding.
Yeah, we painted it by rollers and stuff before we got paint guns, and he was just trying to get started, in the business here.
Well, go ahead and tell us about that. Tell us about your dad and tell us how this whole thing got its start, if you would.
Yeah, this is a story that I always like to tell everybody. My dad was in the ready-mix business, and he was pouring concrete around here. And his theory was there was no such word, nothing to do. There was no such word. So if he didn't get no orders for concrete, he would get a welder and a hammer and give the drivers and let's build a silo. I need a silo. So then when the phone rang, I took the hats off and get the truck and start pouring concrete. But he built his first silo in a tree. And it took him about 3 months to build the first silo between getting concrete orders. And so we put it up in the air, and the cement salesman, Jim Hamby, he'd always told the story that the Kentucky Ready Mix Association, he'd come down here calling my dad trying to sell cement, Cosmo cement. So he started Bill, he said, where'd you get the silo? I said, you got a silo sitting there. He said, well, I built it. He said, I couldn't afford to buy one, so I went to buy some scrap metal, and we just built one and put it up. So Jim Hamby's trying to sell more cement instead of Kentucky. He's going around Kentucky calling on all the ready mix producers. And he was telling them, he said, hey, Stevens Ready Mix But the silo, he said, if you need a silo, he said, that might be your silo. So that's really how we got started in the business here, building silo. So
for yourself?
Huh?
For himself?
We
first.
built it for ourselves, but he started building them for other ready-mix producers in the state of Kentucky. And then my daddy would go to the Kentucky Ready-Mix Association in Louisville, and he had a Polaroid pictures.
Yes.
And he would have them in his pocket, and he'll go around and show them pictures of the ready-mix producers, see if anybody needs a silo. And that's how he got started, just building silos. And back in the old days when mixomobiles were done, then he built silos for them. Then he decided he wanted to try to build the other part, those ag basters, conveyors, to put the rock and sand in to feed the truck. So they went down the road and they looked at 2 or 3 plants and they got measurements off of it. Then they figured out how to build the other half. Then after I got it done, then they said, well, let's figure out how to build the overhead bin. Then they did that and conveyors, and they started from scratch.
Let me stop you just for a quick second. So while this is going on, he's still producing ready mix?
Yeah.
He's selling ready mix, and he's building the plant. Okay.
And I forgot what year he finally got out of the ready mix business. He decided to go full time building plant.
You know, what roughly do you think? Mid 60s? Later than that?
Probably, I'm gonna say early 70s.
Okay, early 70s is when he.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a friend of his, Bill Trader. It was a good friend, and he was telling him about it. He said, well, I'll take over the ready mix business. He didn't sell it to him, he just gave it to him.
No kidding.
He probably had to buy the truck. And so we took over ready mix. Daddy wanted to focus more on building concrete plant. Then we started building the conveyors, the radial stackers, the reclaimers, the dust collectors. And we just started, and today we're still adding on our line, building stuff. We make a central mix plant now that we never had 10 years ago.
Are you saying that the first central mix plant you built was about 10 years ago?
No. We just started it about 10 years ago. We never had one. We never had a line of a central mix plant.
Gotcha.
We was always dry batch plant.
Got you.
But we've added it to the line. But
now, backing up a little bit, I always, when we get into these things, I just keep thinking of other questions. What was your dad's background? What do you think prepared him to get into all of this? What was the
to get building plants? Well, he had to have a silo. That's what got started. He claimed he built his first plant in 1957.
Okay.
So that's when he established.
I got you.
57.
It was just that necessity, like they say, necessity is the mother of invention.
Over there on the floor. Did you hold that picture up? You saw that picture yesterday. Lane showed it.
Is that the? Oh, I saw that picture.
That was his ready mix truck.
Yes, that's incredible. So keep bringing us forward. So when was the first? What year roughly on your first central mix? You think?
Well, we built the first central mix probably 10 years ago with the mixer.
Yes.
We never had the Volvotion drum mixer. Never had that. We never had a mixer.
Yes. You were always dry batch.
I was dry batch.
Yeah.
But we offer both now.
So let's see here. This is such a cool story. What do you enjoy? I mean, you obviously, your family, I can tell just being around y'all, you enjoy what you do, and it's so obvious. Tell us a little bit about what you enjoy about this business. What's fun about it? What's pleasing about it? Gratifying?
The one thing I really enjoyed about it, just like I talked about a while ago, we keep adding stuff to our line, and we always liked adding stuff to our line, offer more product for all the customers. And I like being here, building equipment, and I love all the people working here. And we've got some good people. Everybody knows everybody in this small town, Tomkinsville, and so we just got a good group of people here, and it's just knowing everybody.
Just that you can feel the family atmosphere, and not just here, but when I went in and stayed at the little bed and breakfast in downtown, which was beautiful. It's just such a a delightful area. It's beautiful countryside. I had a question that come to mind. Now it slipped away. Don't go away. Let me think. I know what I want to ask you. How many employees? How many people do you employ here total?
Well, right now we've got about 130.
Okay.
Then we have dealers on the way up. They work for themselves. They probably got about 30 of them.
So it sounds like you ship plants certainly all over this country, don't you? I mean,
yep.
Do you know, have you been to every state, or you know what I mean? I mean,
yep.
Pretty much every state.
Yeah.
And I think Elena said that you've shipped something to New Zealand and something to where else? Was it Puerto Rico?
Yeah, Puerto Rico, Bahamas, Australia.
Australia?
Yeah, we shipped up to Australia, Canada.
Wow.
Well, that overseas market is not a big thing, but
but you do.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, there's a lot of plants in Puerto Rico, and our island's real small, and they go up the hills and down the hills, and it's all over Puerto Rico. We had a dealer down there that knows.
No kidding.
He was an Admex salesman.
Yeah.
And he knew everybody on the island, and he was on them concrete plants too.
Okay, this is really. I would have never dreamed that Stevens Manufacturing in Tomkinsville would be shipping concrete plants to New Zealand and other parts of the world. I mean, you'd think that there'd be people there that could do it, but they obviously can't because they're calling on you. Let me ask you this. What would you say is your customers, the people that buy from you, what are they getting from you? In other words, why do they buy Stevens, you think, and what are their main requirements and expectations from someone who provides concrete plant equipment?
Well, what we try to do customer service, and if they call in here and talk to anybody here, we can answer any of their questions, and I think they like that. And most of the time when I see somebody down the road and they say, I don't know what you're doing in your business, but don't change a thing.
Don't change a thing.
Don't change a thing. So we've got people who just take care of electrical, talk to them on electrical, and we'll be able to get answers from them, whatever they need on customer service. So today, what the producers are looking for today when they call in here to order a part, if it's not a manufacturing part, we ship it out today if they call it in. So we're going to ship out anywhere from 20 to 30 boxes out on UPS every day. And if it's a manufacturing part, it might take a few days to build it before we can ship that out. But we'll ship that out on a freight truck and stuff like that. But we try to get it out the day they order it. That way they'll have it.
So I bet when that customer said, whatever you're doing, don't change it, I bet part of that was you can respond. I mean, that's huge. I mean, I was in the business for many years, and being able to get parts quickly is a huge deal.
Yeah.
And not everybody can do that and do it with a smile. So what about changes, some of the bigger changes that's taken place in the industry? And I know you mentioned for y'all, of course, a big change was you began the central mix, and that you said that was 10 years ago. But what else? What are some of the things that have really changed and what people want from concrete plants?
Well, today most of the people, when they order a concrete plant, they want to get big silos, big bins. They want more capacity to hold in their stuff because it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and when it gets bigger, then all the beams and steel get bigger to hold it all up, and they just want big plants now. They want talk about their safety stuff. Sometimes we have to put instead of putting ladders, we put walkways where they just walk up top and cages stuff. The biggest thing they want now is their safety. So we'll try to do stuff to help them on their safety side.
So you got the capacity, and that's interesting. I mean, you don't think about it right away, but of course, the bigger the capacity, you got bigger steel members and just heavier. It's a heavier plant, and a more expensive plant.
Yeah.
So the what people pay for these things, never mind the raw material, but there's just a lot more to them.
Yeah.
And then I think you mentioned something about the AR plate. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I forgot that one. They want AR plates in their band. And so when the rock hit the side of it, it won't wear a hole in it. To make them last on, have to work on it. And they want stuff like that. And when I talk about bigger stuff that make the beams bigger, we had a saw back there that we were cutting all the beams with. And all the beams kept getting bigger until we had to buy a bigger saw. And so it's been a lot of big changes in the ready mix industry.
So here's one for you that I'm very interested in hearing about, and that is, how did you survive the Great Recession? We fell in Georgia. Ready mix industry dropped 75% from 2006 to our bottom in 2011. Everybody's heard me cite those statistics. I mean, that was a huge drop. How did you make it through?
That's a good question. I can remember that day I was here. We had about 160 people roughly in the shop and here, so we didn't have much orders coming in, so we decided to do a layoff. So we called about 20 or 30 people in the break room and told them that we just didn't have enough work. So we laid that group off. Then maybe a month or two went by, still hadn't get no orders in, and then we called another 20 in, laid them off. And a few months later, we called another 20 in, laid them off. We went from 160 people down to 30 people.
Oh, my word.
And
wow.
That was a big hit for us, and everybody in the office had to take their own trash out, and they had to clean their own office up. Then also too, and it got down the road, they still wasn't getting no orders in, and everybody in the office and in the shop, what we had in the shop had to take a cut and pay. So it was just that really hurt right there. But we survived it and made it through, and all the people we have in the office are still here today. And I can't remember when it started back, but that was a rough year. I remember that.
So. When do you think you really noticed that, the recovery for y'all began? Do you think it was 14, 15? What?
Yeah, I think it's about 14, 15. Everything started coming back, getting back to normal. So, and as of today, well, everything still go good and strong right now. I think everybody knows what's going to happen.
So I know that, and I was excited to see your machine shop, and to learn that in addition to utilizing that machine shop for your ready mix components, plant components, that you actually have outside, you have work that you do for non-ready mix. Was that at all part of your Great Recession survival? I mean, did you begin that then, or was that since then? But tell us about the machine shop.
Yeah, we're very proud of the machine shop right now. We started the machine shop with just one machine and one machinist making parts for us. Then the next thing you know, we bought another machine, and we're just doing our own stuff. Then we decided to go out and try to do some outside work. Then we went to Scottsville and got some work over there for smokers.
That's the making the jelly folks. Yeah.
We make the crimpers here for the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that you can buy at the grocery store today. And we make that here, and we make a lot of stuff for Acabano and Glasgow. They make all the brakes for all the new cars that's been made.
Wow.
Plus, we're trying to get more of that, and right now, then it helped us on Stevens get quality parts and stuff like that. And then we got all the stalls, CNC stalls, and got CT and plasma, And everything we got back here is all computerized, so everything's right when it gets done.
Yeah, my grandkids like those little Smuckers peanut butter and jelly things. That's incredible. What an incredible story. I know that the answer to my next question, I know where part of it's going to be. It's going to be about your dad. I like what I'm getting at is I like to hear about who's influenced you. We all are influenced and shaped by a lot of people, but who would you say had a lot to do with your philosophy of business and management and leadership? Who were some of the most influential people in your life?
Well, obviously it was my dad, but mostly and my brother.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and my brother. So was when we made a decision here on anything, we all made the decision together. My dad, my brother, and me, myself. And he wasn't like Daddy wouldn't say, well, you do this, and Tommy would do this, and I would do this. It wasn't that way. We all done everything together. So anytime we had a meeting, we all met and talked about how we were going to do this, add another building on. So it really was my dad and my brother. They would put me on the plane, send me to Vegas to the show, and I didn't know a whole lot about plants when I was little, and me trying to talk to a customer, and I've learned a lot over the years, but really it's my dad and my brother that what influenced me. Would you
tell us when did you lose your dad? How long ago has that been?
I lost my dad in 2003, and I lost my brother in 2004.
Wow.
It was a year apart. That was a year apart.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's been 20 years ago.
20 years.
My brother died 20 years. My dad died 21 years ago. So I've been running it for that long, 21 years, and the girls are coming into the business.
Well, yeah, and that's a great point.
Third generation.
Yeah, tell us about Elena and Leah and Leah's over here raising her hand. Hey, don't forget me. No, tell us about your daughters.
Yeah, if you want to talk about me for a second here, if I started to work here at 16 years old, that puts me been here 51 years. So I'm getting up there now. So the girls are coming in the business. They'll be third generation, and they've really done a wonderful job. And Jordan is married to my oldest daughter. He works here too. He's in charge of the shop. So it needs to be passed on.
Yes.
So they need to learn the stuff like I did when I was young.
Yes.
So that's what we're doing now. We're trying to change things around to the girls will take over.
That is I'm just so excited to see that. I've worked in family businesses, and they can be wonderful. In fact, just a few weeks ago, I was speaking with Dale Henderson. You'll hear this. We're about to publish his interview with Tucko, or he was came up in the Tucko organization. But it was interesting. One of the comments that Dale made in that interview that I thought was really a notable comment was his advice to family businesses is hang on to them. You don't know, they sold their business in 2010, and he said you don't realize how wonderful a good family business is until that family business is gone, and you miss it. You miss it for the things that we've heard, just the environment that's so special. So that's really exciting. Going to change gears a little bit, and I know that you've been involved in GRMCA for many years, and we are so grateful that you are. We're grateful because how do we make concrete without concrete plants? We can't do it. So you're such a an important part, and you've just demonstrated so much loyalty to the industry, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for sponsoring events and everything that you do. Could you talk a little bit about, and I know you're in other associations, not just us, you're very active. So tell us about benefits to members of these associations. What does it do for you? What does it do for your company? What do you get from your dues and your time and commitment?
Yeah, we for the association go, we want all the customers that we know and they know us. We want them to know that we support the state association, and that really means a lot to us. And support the association. So also too, what we like to support is the CIM program.
That's right. Talk about that.
Yeah, the CIM program. I'm on the Executive Advisory Council for the one in Muffinsboro. I've been on it since 2006. So I meet with the patrons and we talk about what we're going to do and stuff like that. So I'm a big supporter for the CIM program, or we are.
Right.
Big supporter, and the association. One of the things we'd like to going to the association, we'll get to see everybody face to face instead of talking to them on the phone. And if they need anything, they know me.
Right.
They come up to me and tell me what they need, and I try to do what I can do to help them. But the face to face is better than phone. That's what we'll try to do. Go talk to everybody, and if we don't talk about business, we just say hello and go on, But that's why we like to do the state association.
Well, we do appreciate it very much, and we look forward to next year. We just finished Ponte Vedra, and we're going to make a little change while they they do some big renovations, and we'll go to Amelia Island, the Omni, and look forward to that. The last question I've got. Always interested in hearing is you've been around a long time, Max. You've been in you've lived through a lot and seen a lot, and I would enjoy hearing the advice you would give. Advice maybe you give to your daughters often or sometimes, or to Jordan, but to anyone, a young person, someone coming into this business. Or into business in general, what are the things that you've learned, the wisdom that's very, very important for success?
Yeah, we always give everybody these young people that come in here. We like getting young people here, and we try to tell them, and we talk to them and say, listen, if you stay here with us and bear with us, you'll have a good place to work. We will take care of you. If whatever you need, you'll be here for a long time. So we like getting young people who, especially ones in the shop, young welders, and they talk to some of the older guys that's been here a long time, and they say they've been here a long time, and they see that they're doing well, and we'll try to encourage them to stay here for a while. So we like young people working here to. You'll have a bright future. You'll be here for a while, and then sometimes when they get married and get young kids, and they'll get their kids to come here to work here, And we just try to show everybody that, this is a good place to work. That's what we try to tell young people.
What do you think? You just triggered a question for me. We all know that kind of the workforce is changing. From when you and I started out, mm-hmm. What do you think the folks that come here to looking for work? What's different about what they're expecting or looking for versus when you and I got into business?
Well, most everybody's looking for we got health insurance, and we got 401k, and we have dental insurance, and also too, I forgot this one, but we have a profit sharing program for everybody here and ones in the shop. So if we have a good profit year, everybody will get a profit share, and we just on and on like that right there. So we offer a lot of stuff.
Max, I'll tell you what, this has been such a good trip. As I mentioned to you, I came to a little meeting with the TCA folks and some other association folks in Nashville this week, and I said, I'm only going to be 2 hours from Tomkinsville. How could I be that close and not come by? And so I drove over yesterday from Nashville, and we used to live many years ago. We lived in Knoxville, raised kids in East Tennessee, and it is a beautiful part of the state. And the drive up here, it was a beautiful, cool day, and this area here around you, what a gift, what a blessing that you can live and work in what looks like the Garden of Eden. It's just beautiful countryside. But I'm glad that I came. I'm delighted that I came. I've enjoyed myself and enjoyed the factory tour, which is amazing what you guys do. So again, I thank you for giving me time and being great hosts. It's been a good visit, and really do appreciate you.
Well, thank you. We thank you for coming.